Good evening. I'm Patricia Vallone with a CTV News update. Officials say more health funding is needed in southern Prince George's to mitigate the high level of diabetes in the area. It's considered a racial health disparity issue, and it brought federal and state lawmakers to Fort Washington this morning. They convened at Adventist Healthcare for a roundtable discussion and a tour. U.S. Senators Ben Cardin and Chris Van Hollen also presented a ceremonial check for $1 million for diabetic funding.
With diabetes, it is more prevalent in minority communities. If it goes untreated, it becomes a very difficult and costly process. So early detection is critically important, and providing help early in the process is important. Both are lacking in numbers here, access, so it's one of the reasons why we're here.
African Americans are 2 times more likely to get type 2 diabetes, and if you have type 2 diabetes, you're 2 times more likely to die of cardiovascular disease. So this is an acute issue. We're trying to triage right now, provide resources for this immediate need as we look to the plans they've got to expand the medical center.
Meantime, a medical facility in Capitol Heights is getting a boost thanks to a $3 million federal grant. The money will help fund the expansion of Greater Baden Medical Center and its outpatient services.
Health centers, these FQHCs are very, very important in filling those gaps, ensuring that people have access to care when they need it, ensuring that people have access to preventive care.
You know, we've always understood that health is a huge challenge for the nation. We're trying to do our best to build things out in Prince George's County. Senators Cardin and Van Hollen, I think, recognize that challenge, and they've done a great job in making sure we get the funds here in Prince George's County that we need.
We all have a commitment to the community, and that we can make sure that the health care is here and is accessible for these folks for the next 50 years.
And Greater Baden provides a variety of adult and pediatric services. Well, the Prince George's Council has passed a measure that would ban plastic bags at retailers across the county. The council voted 7-2 for the bill, which would also add a 10-cent fee for each paper bag used. The measure is aimed at protecting the environment while getting shoppers to bring their own reusable bags while shopping.
This is really about trying to clean up our county. We have so many complaints about litter and trash, and they're justified, and we really need to start doing things. And these plastic bags are bad for the environment generally. Just producing them is bad. They're all plastic chemicals, and we just want to see our streets cleaner, and this is something that'll help a lot.
And CTV reached out to shoppers for their thoughts on the Better Bag bill. While some shoppers would rather pay the 10-cent bag fee out of convenience, others say the measure is long overdue.
You know, disposable bags do have a lot of advantages in terms of sanitariness, you know, particularly when dealing with things like meat or fish or things like that that are raw. It's also, there's a convenience factor. I try to recycle whatever bags I use or reuse them. I think that's a better way to do it than to eliminate them.
I'm not going to lie, I do use the plastic bags, but I am trying to switch over to reusable bags. Plastic is not good for the earth, so I think it's a really good way to, you know, protect the earth for several generations to come.
And the measure will take effect in December. And the County Council is also considering legislation that could make it easier for residents to age in place. The bill, sponsored by Councilmember Jolene Ivey, calls for the creation of a universal building design code for single-family and apartment units. Ivey explains what it would look like.
Most houses, when they're built, will just be built automatically with what you would call a zero entry, so they'd be able to get in without having to navigate stairs. Once they're inside, there's a bathroom on the first floor. There's a room there if you need to make it into a bedroom one day. The levers for your sinks and for your doors work for you, even if you have some issues with your hands or your arms. And that there's already in place the walls in the bathroom so that if you need to put in a grab bar, they're already reinforced.
And the measure would require at least 50% of all new housing to follow the proposed code. Townhomes would be exempt. A work group would iron out all the particulars. If it passes, it would go into effect in 2026. Well, police are asking for the public's help in closing a hit-and-run case in Clinton. Officials are looking for this vehicle and a person of interest in the incident. The crash occurred a week ago today at the 9000 block of Woodyard Road. The car is a 2008 Ford Crown Victoria with Virginia tags. Anyone with information on the car or driver is asked to contact authorities. And you are watching CTV News. I'm Patricia Vallone. We'll be back in just a moment.
Luis and Roberta think they got COVID at dance class. Mike thinks he got it at his family reunion. Nancy blames the carpool. One thing they have in common, their natural immunity has worn off. But they can restore their protection with an updated vaccine. Because getting COVID again means risking long COVID or even hospitalization. Get your updated vaccine because COVID can be anywhere.
A fatal crash involving a 2-year-old boy is under investigation in Anne Arundel County. Officers responded to the 400 block of North Patuxent Road in Odenton yesterday where a truck struck and killed a boy. According to police, the 31-year-old truck driver was repositioning the vehicle when the 2-year-old stepped in front of the truck without the driver's knowledge. The boy was pronounced dead at a local hospital. The child's name has not been released and no charges have been filed. Well, an Oxon Hill man has been arrested and charged after a run-in with police, literally. Authorities say 35-year-old Hector Portillo struck a patrol vehicle yesterday near College Parkway in Anne Arundel County. Portillo continued driving, then attempted to flee on foot before police apprehended him. Police say he was driving under the influence with his wife and 5 children in the car. No passengers were injured. Well, Metro's new discount fare program is open for enrollment. Beginning today, low-income riders can enroll online for Metro Lift. The Lift program gives a 50% discount on rail and bus fares to qualified SNAP recipients in Maryland, Virginia, and the district. Officials say after you enroll online, it will take about 48 hours for the discount to be applied to your Smart Trip card. Overhauling the Blue Line corridor. Now, the County Planning Board has begun preparing a sector plan and sectional map amendment for the Central Avenue, Blue and Silver Line area, which includes a portion of Capitol Heights and C Pleasant. The project team is also implementing its participation program for residents, including public meetings and events throughout the summer.
Hear what as many folks have to say as part of engaging the community. We're also planning on engaging the Spanish-speaking community in the sector plan area as well. So we'll have various methods for doing that. We plan on doing all types of pop-up events throughout the corridor, as well as in-person office hours that we'll have 1 day a week for about 6 weeks, as well as doing various types of online, virtual community input meetings. We'll have a existing conditions report done via a story map so that it's a more accessible and interactive for the general public.
And there will also be online services for surveys and mapping exercises. Interested residents can take part by going to the website on your screen. And coming up, we have Simon Buggs with our Tuesday Sports Page report. Stay tuned.
Hey everyone, and coming up in a bit, it's a recap of some sports news and games that occurred over the weekend. You don't want to miss it.
Hi, I'm Shaka Khan, and I feel for you and your health. Black Americans are at a higher risk for diabetes, but we're less likely to get the latest technology to manage this dangerous disease. It's called CGM, Continuous Glucose Monitoring. Instead of a painful finger stick to check your blood sugar, you wear a small device that can give you glucose readings at any time. If you have diabetes, find out if CGM is right for you.
Thanks for staying with us. Well, while school is over for students, the county school district will still make sure that no child is left hungry. The PGCTV Summer Food Services Program got underway today. Free meals for breakfast and lunch are being offered throughout the county for youth 18 and under. 8 county libraries will provide lunch only throughout the summer. Also, 4 apartment complexes will provide breakfast and lunch. Meantime, the program expands on July 3rd. That's when more than 40 schools, community, and recreation centers will start offering free meals. Well, June is Black Music Month, and the Prince George's Poet Laureate is celebrating. Dr. Khadija Ali Coleman will be a moderator at the Music's Influence on Black Literature, a Black Music Month panel discussion event. It's part of a summer series from the Hurston Wright Foundation.
I'm really excited to moderate this panel because a lot of times we look at literature and music as separate, but being able to identify those certain aspects, and I think we all know, like when we think of hip hop, we think, you know, that's poetry in action, right? When we think of the Harlem Renaissance and Langston Hughes really incorporated a lot of the elements of jazz in his poetry. So really being able to talk about that, those are the things that we'll be doing this month at that panel.
And the Black Music Month panel discussion will be held at the Bowie Branch Library tonight at 6. You can search on Eventbrite for more information.
Okay everyone, it's time for your Tuesday sports page. We'll start with the NBA. Bradley Beal, a shooting guard for the Washington Wizards, was traded to the Phoenix Suns over the weekend. The 3-time All-Star was traded in exchange for Chris Paul, Landry Shamet, and multiple second-round picks and pick swaps. Beal suited up for the Wizards from 2012 to 2023. Meantime, the Washington Mystics came out on top against the Chicago Sky this past weekend, 77-69. The Mystics taking care of the ball played a big part in the win, only having 7 turnovers to the Sky's 21. The Mystics have now won 4 out of their last 5 games, and their next game will be versus the Sky again on Thursday. Switching to the world of tennis, Prince George's County native Frances Tiafoe took the court over the weekend. He matched up against John-Leonard Struff in the Boss Open in Germany. Tiafoe would defeat Struff in the match, but that's not the only good news. For Tiafoe's victory, he is now in the top 10 of ATP rankings, and this makes Tiafoe just the 3rd Black American to climb to the top 10 world rankings. Moving on to the major leagues, the Nationals began their series versus the St. Louis Cardinals yesterday, but will lose their 4th game in a row, 8-6. The Nats led after 4 innings, 5-2, but Washington's defense struggled after that, allowing St. Louis to score 6 runs over the last few innings. The Nationals are currently 5th in the NL East and will try to tie this series tonight at 7:05. And that is your Tuesday sports page. Simon Buggs, CTV Sports.
All right, and now let's get a quick check on our 3-day weather forecast. Tonight, showers across the area with a low near 64. For the rest of the week, there will be even more showers with a high around 73 tomorrow, highs near 74 Thursday, and 82 on Friday. And that wraps up our CTV News Update. Join us again tomorrow at 4:30. Have a great night.
Pick out all your jammies.
I found one!
Good job. Those go in the very top drawer.
Top drawer.